Shifa, we can start.
I will admit everyone.
Perfect, thank you. Good afternoon and good morning to all. I'm Arvind Shekhar from DigiConnect, a division of Great Minds Group. Along with my colleague Shifa, we will be running today's session. Firstly, I thank the speakers of this session who have helped us in shaping up this program. And I thank all of you for attending this session. I welcome everyone to the IT Leaders Roundtable discussion series. And the topic for today is Accelerating Digital Transformation in Real Estate 2021 and Beyond. This session is being designed for the IT leaders of the real estate business in Middle East. And today we discuss the digital transformation focusing on employee-facing technologies. As IT increasingly permeates business, the service desk's role is also expanding beyond its typical ITSM use case. There has been a sudden surge in digital adoption, especially in the real estate sector post-2020, and has forced IT teams to do more with less. This scenario leaves modern IT leaders to rethink their ITSM strategy and from a value realization to optimizing TCO for their organization. From digital transformation to cloud, incident, request, and change management to asset management, extending ITSM to other functions and all of their impact on organization. In the next 55 minutes, we will aim at diving deep about the core issues that IT functions in the real estate sector face and how organizations can future-proof their IT service management for 2021 and beyond. Today's session is specifically curated for the senior IT leaders of the real estate sector in the Middle East. So we encourage you to actively participate in this boardroom session, as this is a live session and not a recorded webinar. As you would know, this is an exclusive invite. We request you to stay till the end of the discussion, as you will hear from over 5 experts, and you will also have the opportunity to interact with them in the panel discussion session and share your thoughts as well. We also request you to keep your cameras on and stay active throughout this session. So we would like to actively engage with you as well. As you would notice, all the participants are placed on mute to begin with, and this is only to avoid any kind of background noise. However, like I mentioned, we'd like to keep it engaging with all of you. And for this, we'll be using the Zoom's raise hand feature, something that most of you are familiar with. For the others, the Zoom's raise hand feature literally allows you to raise your hand to post any kind of questions, suggestions to the panel members that we have. And you can find the Zoom's raise hand button by clicking on the participants button at the bottom of your screen. Clicking on the participants button will open the participants panel onto your right, and you'll find the Zoom's raise hand button at the bottom of that. Every time a hand is raised, we will wait for the appropriate time to unmute the participant, allowing them to post their questions and suggestions. And like mentioned, we have a discussion session today and encourage you to actively participate in this. For any reason, if your call drops due to any network related issues, you can always join us back using the same meeting link on your phone or on your computer device. And this session is being recorded, and please feel free to reach us if you'd like to receive the recording for any further referral. Before we move on to the agenda, I'd like to thank our presenting partner, Freshworks, for bringing in the right content to today's session. And having said that, I'd like to invite the session moderator, the lead solution engineer at Freshworks, Kasi Viswanathan. Over to you, Kasi.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Arvind, for that introduction and setting context for everyone. All right. Firstly, a big hi to everybody taking time for this call, for this session to be with us, to understand digital transformation, given the pandemic, how we are going to evolve. Having said, I would like to introduce our panelists as well today for the meeting. We have Dr. Yasser, the head of digital operations from Saudi Binladin Group. Dr. Yasser, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, my name is Dr. Yasser. I'm actually I'm an architect by background, and even I'm holding a master in digital architecture And my PhD was actually focusing on implementing PIM within industry, within education, actually, architectural education. I have several experience in implementing PIM within projects, and that's actually regarding to designing and construction. Yeah, this is just only a quick actually introduction. I know we don't have time, okay, but hopefully I already introduced myself correctly. I'm actually working with this PG now. By the way, yeah, I'm working with this PG now. Okay, Binladin group, particularly on Haramain project.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you very much for that, Dr. Yasser. We also have Mohammad Shalan, Head of Technology from Aqarat Real Estate Development Company.
Yes, this is Mohammad Shalan. I'm the Head of Technology for Aqarat Real Estate Development Company. As well, I'm the Digital Transformation Director for the Project Management Institute in Saudi Arabia, Saudi chapter. I have been working in this real estate sector and transformation since some time. For that, I was joining CETA, which is an airline industry, airline systems integrator. And also, recently, I have edited a book actually called the Innovative and Agile Contracting for Digital Transformation. So this is actually my passion, is to have more people inside the digital transformation train. Okay, thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that, Mohammad Shalan. We have Abdulaziz Mohammed AlSabek from Mask Mohammed AlSabek Consultation as the Business Development Director.
Yes, hello. Good morning, gentlemen. This is Abdulaziz AlSabek, the Business Development Director for Mask Mohammed AlSabek Consultation Office and Real Estate Development. I'm happy that I will be one of your team today to discuss further on real estate and digital transformation.
Thank you once again for joining us. And yes, finally, we have Syed F, albeez, the IT Director as well as a part of our call today. Not sure if Syed has already joined us. He did mention
Syed, you need to unmute yourself.
Sorry about that. Good morning, everyone. My name is Syed albeez. I am the IT Director for Dar al Arkan. And I've been in this real estate industry for more than 15-20 years. And I've worked with a lot of engineering architecture firms, design solutions, and integrating solutions with BIM, modeling, 3D, Revit, and different solutions. Now I'm with a real estate development where we have a lot of projects to develop and sell. So it's a development activity. Every real estate industry has different roles, so it gives a mix of experience. So I will try to add whatever points I can contribute in this session. Thank you for inviting.
Absolutely. And once again, I'd like to thank everyone before you even start, because I know we have big heads here today to discuss digital transformation with everybody else in the panel room. So without further ado, I think I'll also quickly introduce myself. I am Kasi. I've worked with Freshworks as the lead solution engineer, and I've been in the industry for about last 7 years, implementing ITSM across all verticals, not just real estate, and with Middle East and Africa as well, particularly. And we will be discussing more in detail about the digital transformation with the panel today. To start with, I would also like to introduce Freshworks, who's partnering with GM events today to do this accelerating event. And we as Freshworks, we were founded in 2010, about 11 years ago. We have about close to 400 million investment till date. We are funded heavily by Sequoia, Google Capital, Tiger Global, Axel, and the many more investors as well. And till date, we have about $300+ revenue in annual recurring, and with 50,000 customers across the globe. And as we speak, we are growing in company as well. So we have about 3,500+ employees with partners like DigiConnect, GM Events, who's helping us in Middle East and Africa. And we have about 12 different products catering to the customer engagement solution side and to the employee engagement side. with 13 offices spread across globally. And yeah, as we speak, we'll also be having one very shortly in Dubai and in other GCC countries as well. Just to enlighten who we are, I did tell you about us as a company, and us as customers. These are our customers spread across the globe. You might know some great names here like TeamViewer, Sage, NHS in the UK, Travix in the travel industry, and we have across all verticals. Maybe just to enlighten, within the Middle East and Africa, among these logos you see here, all the giants, I think I've worked with all accounting, ITSM and other solutions for them. These are some referenceable customers that you can look up to. And before we start, I would to get a session done. We do have the panelist who's going to talk about digital transformation. The essence of digital transformation, I think pandemic has taught us today. We are all working on a remote world. Given the remote world, how are we going to manage not just customers, but also our employee support and all of that? From 2019 to 2020, there was a lot of difference. We never knew a pandemic was going to hit us this hard, right? And it's still continuing. Unfortunately, in India, at least, it's still continuing on the wave too. So given these situations of pandemic, how are we looking to transform our organization's needs, requirements, processes digitally? I think that's the first talking point that I would like to start with. Maybe if Dr. Yasser or Syed, if you would like to talk about it. Not sure if you're on mute. Just a quick check, 1 second.
Kasi, is it for me?
Yes, Syed, it's for you and for Dr. Yasser, if you would like to add any thoughts on digital transformation.
See, digital transformation, what I would like to say is people always believe that transforming the paper into an electronic format is digital transformation was the definition earlier. Now it is no more of that sort. From the start of the journey until the total cycle completion, everything, like for example, unexpected pandemic started last year and business disruption was expected everywhere. But if you see in the real estate business, there are a lot of innovative solutions which helped us to integrate, and we were never on hold or stop for any day. Because if you are selling a property, you need to visualize how the property looks like, where it is, what are the proximities, what are the features. So there are certain 3D virtual tours, all the solutions available. So once the customer is convinced and he's interested to buy, right, you need to exchange the documents. So there are e-signature solutions where you get convinced. Then you have the payment gateways, integrate them digitally. And until you produce the contract to them digitally signed. So this is the complete cycle where there is no paper involved. So already a lot of organizations are in the same track, and digital transformation not only minimize the transaction duration, but also increase in terms of volume. So this is really giving us an advantage over others.
Absolutely. I think, Syed, like you rightly pointed out, it's not just about, making everything online, but right from start to end, A to Z, you want everything to be digitally available where you don't have to do paperwork at all, right? And it has to be captured in your journey, right from e-signatures to acceptance or approvals or whatever that you can think of possibly in the customer world. It has to be digitally available. And the other side also, if you look at, this is the customer side, right? Now, on the other hand, given the pandemic, if we have to work with employees, how do we support employees? We no longer can be physically available next to them to support them with any issue they may have. It could be any issue, right? It could be an IT issue. It could be an issue with the finance team or the admin team that they need help with. Earlier, it was easier for us to walk up to them or ping them or just give them a call. But today, in a situation like, COVID, we are all remotely placed. How do we get that kind of support? Don't we really look at digital transformation on that as well? Because given the situation, if you're going to be at home and work from home remotely, I think digital transformation is the biggest key. Don't you think so? Dr. Yasser, do you like to add anything along the digital transformation for real estate today?
Yes. First of all, thank you, Mr. Saeed. He already actually conclude most of the point regarding to the digital transformation. I would like just only to add, yes, it's a paperless, okay, but I think there is a misunderstanding with some people when they say digital transformation. It's just only an upgrading and like doing the upgrading to the latest computer and software. Okay, they have to understand this is just not only a hardware and software. They have to understand this is a process, even a process.
Right.
Okay, they have to understand how they're gonna work with the new technology, because what actually we are talking about in this era, it's the fourth industrial revolution. Okay, and the physical robotics, yeah, and the artificial intelligence and automated data. Okay, this is what actually we are talking about now. Okay, and to reach this point, okay, we have to upgrade not only the hardware and software. We need to upgrade our process and how to deal with issues. Okay, this is what actually I want to add.
Awesome. That is great. Thank you.
If you allow me also, I need maybe to add to my colleagues because there's have interesting discussion. But for me, actually, digital transformation is a kind of creating a new future. It's a new future for the business. We usually talk about what we have in the business today and where we need to go. Because to utilizing a transformation is the changing, is not a change, it's not an improvement. It's just a complete change about the mindset. We look on the new the startup like Kareem, for example, they are coming from where they have no taxes, but they are running one of the biggest taxi service in the world. So this is actually, it's how we run transformation. We have to align the whole mindset of the organization and to change our processes. Usually in the traditional model, we have a lot of silos inside the companies. We have the finance working alone. We have technology working alone. We have sales working alone. Today, we are coming to have everyone working together to build the value for the customer, because it's no longer that we can utilize the same mindset. On the same page, actually, what we are trying to do, we are trying to utilize emerging technologies. There have been a lot of technologies introduced in the past few years, and we are and we have to use them. For me, actually, for example, last year, before the COVID-19, I was planning to write an article titled Transforming a Giant Marble Statue, where to describe the transformation plans in real estate sector. Because usually real estate sector have been rigid and slow motion since long years. People loved the paperwork, people love moving around the location, long discussions, dragging the timeline, so the project will take a long time. And of course, there was generating a lot of value and opportunities out of this structure and this behavior. But today, everything is changed. And here in Saudi Arabia, for example, there's a massive changes in addition to what happened in the world. For example, the Saudi government actually have performed massive digital transformation programs that affect heavily every sector, including the real estate. For example, my colleagues know that today, all the deeds gone electronic. And maybe you have attended this digital transformation session for Ahmed Shuqairi. It's actually, they finish every paper deeds. And everything now is coming online. And this was before, and for the people, they was to have days and days going to a lot of locations so that they bring these deeds and write these deeds. And I remember I see some deeds in our company that's like, it's not A0, it's more than A0. It's very huge. And we have to have scanners to scan it usually. Now everything is coming electronic. So there is a lot of initiatives here in Saudi, digital transformation. So now you can, even today, you can move the ownership of a land just in your mobile, using your mobile. So this is one thing actually what happened. And the other thing maybe is, like we have COVID-19 gave a quick shock to the real estate sector, especially because as I said, it was like a marble statue. Now they have, in one day, they have to move and to start working from home. They have to start working remotely. So in one day, we have to set up a new setup for them. We were trying to convince them we need to change. The world is changing. You have a lot of things. But in one shot, they have decided, okay, we have to. It's time. No way we go back. And additionally, actually, you see here, especially here in Saudi Arabia also, there is a lot of business dynamics that is changing. For example, our clients are looking to different products and services. They don't look to have even the real estate sector or this engineering sector behind, lagging. They need to have a kind of smart cities, smart districts. This is affecting their behaviors. They need to move what we have in personal styles. They need to have it now in business. And even in this rigid status, and this is supported by the government initiatives that's changing the mindsets of everyone. So really now we are seeing a massive changes in the people mindset. Of course, we have a lot of challenges, and still there is, but we are moving very good steps in this. So I think it's promising. And the real estate sector, which was for a long time out of somehow technology utilization, full utilization, now it's moving. So I'm happy actually of seeing this happening now. So back to you, Kasi.
Thank you so much, Mohammed Shalan. I think you have detailed a bit more as well what I was looking to talk about next, which is we are talking about digital transformation, not just in the customer world, like I said earlier. And like Mohammed Shalan mentioned, it's about different sources, how customers can reach out to you. And also a very important thing that Mohammed Shalan mentioned was also about the enterprise services, which is not just IT teams would be supporting customers, but also other teams. You have sales, you have marketing, you have admin. How do you collaborate with them? And imagine if they're all working in silos and in different tools, how do you communicate to them? I think digital transformation plays a bigger role there when you all have them into a single system where you manage all of that process. I think thank you once again. Before I go on to my next slide, just a quick pause. Would anybody else like to add thoughts here, or do we have any questions? Awesome.
We have Abdulaziz as well, part of the panel. Abdulaziz, just checking if you would want to add anything at this point.
Please continue. Please continue. No problem.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. So with that discussion, I would also like to understand what's the mindset of all of our attendees on the call. I think we'd like to understand how you're trying to solve in 2021 with the biggest problem. Like I said, it could be across any departments. It could be your IT teams who's trying to implement the service management side. It could be the asset capability like to manage your organization or your whether do you want to just have it only for IT, or do you want to bring all the silos into a single team, system, manage all of that into a single. I'm just going to give some more time so that we have everybody else vote. Right. Interesting to see that we have a lot of people inclining towards not just IT, but everybody else around IT should also be into a single system. That's great to know. I think that's what we talk about digital transformation. Give it a couple of more seconds to see if we have more responses, and then we're good. So I think with that, we will get a segue to see how we get responses, and probably we'll discuss more on this as well. Now, I see that most of us are talking about not just IT, but also non-IT functions. What do you think is the biggest pain of being in two different systems? Of course, there's going to be a lack of information that's going to be synced. Like you said, a sales pushing information to the field office team to support the customer, or it could be vice versa. Right. Apart from that, do you see any other potential pain points around this? Since Mohammed Shalan, you added a lot of inputs around enterprise service management, I would like to understand, do you see any other pain points apart from working in silos?
Yes, actually, I think is one of the most challenges that we are facing today. We are talking about the challenges. Yes, there have been a lot of things. Because, for example, for real estate, and when we are talking about real estate, technology should be working in every now. For example, the diversity of business activities that we are having and people behaviors that we are having in real estate is one of the major challenges that we have. So today people are thinking that, okay, we need to expand the IT or the technology services to every aspect of the business. And at the same time, they need to have a kind of flexibility because they have used to be flexible and to have a wide portfolio of activities. For example, when we are looking at Aqarat as a master developer, and here we are talking about starting from feasibility studies, starting from multiple activities. So these people used to have an Excel sheet and so that they can offer collect the offers, they enter the data, they make feasibility studies, they make a lot of master development plans and collaborate with all the vendors that they are dealing with. So this is usually, it was easy for them because they have no kind of, it was manual process. So you have a lot of flexibility. Today, when you are trying to automate, then we have to have a kind of people who need to have them on the train. So they need to generate the value to the company, but also we need to have a structured mindset so that not everyone is doing the business his own way. Because now we are talking about not only a silo, not only one department or even one person. Now we are talking about multiple persons and multiple departments working together in synergy. And for this, it's very important that all this kind of diverse activities that we need to put it into automation so that we make a huge value generation for the organization. And this we are facing a lot of challenges with the people because people will think, okay, there is a lot of tools that I can use for personal use, like WhatsApp and something. I need something really similar for the business. But for the business, you have to align and you have to kind of control the environment that you are working on it. And it's not every time that you can change the application and change or find the proper application for certain activity. Sometimes you have to customize or to make a kind of flows or automations. So this is what we are trying now to advise people in the business while we are moving into digital transformation. Is that, okay, you need to do a lot of activities from your side, and we as technology people, we will bring the technology for you, but technology is not plug and play. Technology have some positive aspects and some aspects that you need to align to. So this is what we are trying to convince people today. This is the hard issue that we are trying to solve for the people. But of course, we are progressing very well because, as I told you, there is a lot of initiatives around governmental and multiple companies, and there is a lot of challenges and a lot of disruption. As Syed said, actually, there is a lot of disruption coming from business that have been never into real estate. It's coming into real estate from other countries, from other entities. So now everyone is feeling that it's time to change. So this is how we are tackling it.
Awesome. Thank you very much once again, Mohammed, Shalan, for shedding light on that. With that segue, I would like to also go further and see what are the bigger challenges we are looking at in the industry today. We spoke about digital transformation, how key it is. Now, in the challenge of digital transformation, right now, like I think earlier we spoke about different channels. People can reach out to you through chat or maybe a WhatsApp or maybe email. These are different challenges through which you get your queries from your customers or your employees. Now, there are various challenges like these, right? And then you have different teams using different tools. There could be a sheet available. Now, what do you think is a challenge in actually going digital, especially in a real estate world? Dr. Yasser, would you like to add your thoughts on this?
Yeah, it's really a good question. The digital transformation nowadays, and even I already said that before, is not only an upgrading to the latest computer and software. Okay,
right.
Or let's say for the last few years, the world talk about a new era where technology, where technology extending from the traditional idea that that technologies are limited to computers and software to physical robotics and artificial intelligence and automated data, which are shaping actually the fourth industry evolution. In regard to the construction, because I'm actually from a construction background, we could actually agree that adopting technology in construction, it's far behind comparing with other industries. Okay. However, let's say for the last 15 years, there are a big movement from some government to enhance the implementation of technology on their project in order to reduce cost and carbon dioxide, improving facility management. And therefore, we started to hear about BIM, Building Information Modeling, and its benefit for all stakeholders. Yes, we can actually say we have. They say this. We can actually have. We can save money and reducing errors, delivering on time. Okay. Yeah, the topic of BIM and its benefits, it will take time, okay, to explain it. However, I just want to give a small example, idea, okay, how such a method can help, okay, and technology can help the project and the employees. Normally, in construction, we received a lot of emails. And sometimes we have issues in linking the content of the emails or these emails with the project. And that's because, for example, I'm saying, okay, the title of the email, okay, and instead of using the, like I'm saying, sometimes they use like 2 letters to indicate the project, the name of the project, okay, and instead of writing the whole name, okay. Or sometimes they forget to write the area, okay, or the zone, or the trade, okay, or what actually they face an issue on it, okay. And for this reason, we cannot locate the correct email, and we cannot link it with the map, with the model, with the project. Sometime I'm saying, when you have an interactive data linked with the model, okay, then such an issue will not actually appear. And BIM, you could actually put a flag, for example, okay, you could put a flag on the drawings with your input, okay, you can actually add that, your input, you can actually add it on the flag, okay, and the receiver will reply on that flag, okay. In this case, we can say that we succeed in killing 2 birds with 1 stone. We improve the communication. Yeah. Okay, we improve the communication, and we keep recording the history of that. Okay, if anyone come after me, for example, okay, he or she will see what actions were made on that area. Okay, and I know this is a small example. Okay. The benefits beyond what actually we can explain in one session. Okay, we have a lot of technology regarding to implementing BIM. Okay, on the construction, we can speak for like laser scan, 3D printing, other softwares, like, for example, I don't want to mention companies, okay, but modeling software, simulation softwares, okay. And yes, this is like a quick example, okay, and I hope it's clear for you.
Absolutely, yes. I think just to reiterate, you spoke about one good storyline here, which is AI adding a big, a boon to the system, which is automating a lot of stuff in your PIM. And in addition to that, you also spoke about how multiple teams can collaborate in a single platform, right? If somebody has to associate that to a project and then add a comment, you will be able to see all that in a single panel than having to have a different sheet shared with them, losing that data in the span of. I think that you need to talk about digital transformation.
Yeah, I got just an example. Last week I had like a break for 5 days. Okay, and when I went back to my office, okay, I noticed more than 150 emails, new emails.
Yeah.
Okay, it was like shocked for me. Okay, to track all these emails. I
Right.
don't know because I'm talking about a big project, the two holy mosque, the third expansion is really a big project. Okay, and now we are working on area more than 800,000 square meter. Okay, it's really big area, and sometimes we don't know which part or zone or area they are talking about. If they don't, if you have a platform, okay, a BIM platform, okay, yeah, that will really help, okay, to actually find where is the issue is, okay, and keep the history. This is the most important things, because some of the project, okay, the time spending on that project, okay, minimum 5 years, okay, the big project, minimum 5 years, okay, and during that, okay, you will find people who actually move from this company to other company, okay, okay, now how we gonna actually move the actions being made by this employee, okay, to the other to the new guy. Okay, we have to keep this.
So I think it's a.
Yeah.
No, sorry. I was just trying to add that you're talking about once again how information gets passed on, and when you're talking about one particular project, one particular area, it's a big area, right? You're talking about 1,000 or rather 100,000 square meters, and you need to know where exactly the issue is. Are these 130 emails that's coming are pertaining to the same site and same location? That information capturing is very, very essential, and a single platform, if you can automate it, I think there's nothing like it, right? To help you do it much quicker. Mohammed, Shalan, do you also want to share something along digital transformation, and what are the challenges around that?
As I said actually before, that yes, what Dr. Yasser said is very important, because the collaboration between teams is very crucial point. What happens, for example, for us as a master developer, we have a land that we acquire since few years, since 10 years or something like this. And there have been a lot of work done on this land, starting from the paperwork, reviewing, putting master plans for this, trial 1, trial 2, trial 3, and then putting another master plans, having the government authorities to accept these proposals from us, dealing with a lot of investors and a lot of vendors. So this is like a huge and massive work that we need to collaborate. So it's exactly collaboration between all these times is very important. And today, it's no longer that you can utilize the email service as it was invented like in 1970, I think, to do what we have here today. Usually in 1970, you have few emails that's coming to your inbox. But today you have maybe thousands even of emails coming to your inbox weekly. So by this, actually, you have to find a mechanism to collaborate rather than to put just information in silos. And as we are moving people, our business sectors from silos to this, we are also moving the data flow. So that's why we need to have a kind of collaboration tool for all the environment that we are using, not only but between ourselves, but also with our vendors, with our contractors, because the number of contractors that we are using today is increasing. The number of staff is increasing. And also, one thing that's coming with digital transformation is the utilization of what we call gig workers. Gig workers meaning that there are some workers that we need for specific reason, for specific time. So they are contractors, we are working with them for limited period of time. So we have to control what are coming from these people and how we manage the situation after. Today, we have some specialized softwares or specialized tasks that we need certain calibers to work on it for certain period of time. They may be not in here, maybe in another country or another location, and they will come. So we have to control everything that's coming out of this project. And this is really very important point that Mr. Yasser or Dr. Yasser talk about. It's collaboration and how we manage the whole ecosystem surrounding our business. So this is, I hope it adds something to your to what Dr.
Certainly,
Yasser
yes.
said.
Absolutely. I think you've expanded what means here. It is not just in to the approvals you get from them, the discussions you want to do, and all that in a single platform. I think that's what we call collaboration, right? If you have to work in silos, this is not going to be possible. You're going to lose a lot of communication. There's going to be a lot of communication gap in what you do. So I think that's very, very essential. I think with that, we spoke about vendors and contractors. I think that's the next segue lead for me to go to the B question, which is, what do you see as, do you see a lot of outsourced, IT partners, or do you have a lot of in-house IT partners? And this could be any operations, right? Any inputs around this? Maybe Syed, if I can pull you on and see if you have any inputs around this.
Yeah. See, I would like to go back to the previous question, and I just want to add some more points to that. First thing is, when you're talking about digital transformation, it is not a single piece. It's a unification of multiple blocks. Like we have been, most of the time we talk about business requirements, and we forget about the critical aspects of usability. So we need to ensure the digital transformation. One of the block is the UI UX and the mobility and access of the solution for the people to access and use it from anywhere. That is where you get the benefits, and it adds more value to it. Because for example, if you today buy a laptop or a mobile phone without the Type-C port or USB port, it is of no use, because you cannot get anything out of it. So the same way, today the biggest challenge which we are having in most of the applications is you get different products, popular brands. Okay, everybody is trying to protect their own IP, and the integrations you are struggling. So if everyone has an unified standard of integration modules, so that you can connect multiple applications, cross application, any functionality. It's easy, seamless integration. You will grow faster, and you will be able to deliver the solutions much bigger way to get more benefits quickly. And when we are talking about the integrations, the silos, if you see every department, they are having a process which they are sitting on it for a decade. And if you go and change that, I want to change digital transformation, it is not a one-step activity. You need to sell this concept, and you need to show how it is going to be helpful for them in a big way. So translating their existing process into the new process is not digital transformation. You need to re-engineer. You need to see how you can make a process which is a 100-step activity to a 10-step activity or 15-step activity, how you can remove the duplicates, how you can remove the silos. The visibility is more important. You don't know what is happening in finance. You don't know what is happening in other departments. So each department needs to understand where what is standing. So these workflows, visibility, control, the integration, these are very critical. So coming back to this outsource or in-house, right? See, it all depends on which organization you are working for and what are the governance and compliance requirements. There are certain tasks which we outsource, which are not governed by the compliance requirements. There are certain things which are to be managed in-house and we are not supposed to outsource. So these are handled. But it all depends on how qualified and how technically sound the outsource partner is and what is your strength in-house. Just if you see the trend, most of the people, they talk that we'll outsource, we'll reduce the manpower. No, that is not the game. You need to, if you are buying an aircraft and you will say that I will buy the aircraft and I will have all pilots from outside the country. It's not going to happen. You need to have at least one person to park it in the garage, correct? So you need to have people a mixed mode. So you need to have a mixed combination of people on in-premise and as well as the outsource, so that you get the technically competent people available to support. There are certain products for which you may have issues in getting a resource on board. So these situations, you will be able to engage with a partner who will be able to contribute with his diversified team, which is scattered across the globe, and they can add more value to the business. So instead of struggling with an in-house resource who's having a closed thought, if you have an outsourced partner who has addressed similar solutions in the past, you will be able to get quick answers, quick solutions, and it will be adding value to the business. And the most critical thing is integration. As I told you, we need to see that how the integrations are seamless, how they are going to bring visibility between different functions, with different modules. For example, during the pandemic, everybody was forced to work from outside, work from home. So if you think about a call center, the call centers predominantly were operating from the organizations. So if you see the shift in the last 10 to 15 months, if you see most of the call center have become cloud-based, and most of the people are able to answer the calls from the mobile. Most of the tickets management is from the mobile apps. So you see the shift and visibility in addressing things has become faster because they already had the recipe in their hand. They just delivered it. So we need to ensure that whatever is the business requirement, whatever is the digital transformation plan, we need to have the recipe prepared and it is ready with us.
Got it. I think spot on, Syed. Thank you once again for bringing up the challenges also in digital transformation from your experience. I think you spoke about channels once again. It's not just about sending in queries and then uploading it back, but also being able to challenge and support from different channels, right? You can't expect your employees or your customers to just email you. If they don't have access to email, it's the end of the world, right? They can't reach out to you. You need to have a mobile application. I think that's where we talk about user experience. If you have a wow system, that doesn't solve the problem, but you need to make sure that everybody is able to use it and adapt to it. I think that's a good call out. Thank you once again for bringing that up. And also the bridge between outsourced and in-house solutions. I think this is where once again collaboration kicks in, right? Where you can smoothly give access to outsourced teams and limit them to what they can see as compared to an in-house team who will see everything else in the system. Awesome. With that, I also want to further understand in terms of rather discuss what are the critical integrations today in a real estate world or just in a digital transformation world, along with your vendors. What do you want them to understand when you talk about integrations? Maybe Dr. Yasser, I think you might want to add something on this.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes. In this question, I would like to actually give an overall view, okay, based on my experience. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
And implementing PIM, exactly. Implementing PIM in most of projects in Saudi Arabia and even Middle East, by the way, okay, it's used as a firefighting. We have an issue, for example, I'm just only saying, yeah, they said, okay, we have a coordination issue. What should we do? Okay, yeah, use PIM. We need software to calculate material. Okay, BIM is a solution. Okay, use it. We need then to ensure that the cost of the project will not raise. Okay, what can we do regarding to this one? Okay, ask the contractor to implement BIM, and it's kind of like you're just looking for a solution. Okay, firefighting for a particular issues. Okay, and you want to solve it. Yes, we can say that stockholders, when they do that, okay, when actually this way of thinking, the firefighting, oh yeah, they benefit from it, okay, but however, they have missed the big picture, okay, the big benefit of implementing PIM throughout their project. And even I want to add, okay, regarding to the client. Okay, exactly, the client, okay, or the owner. We have people actually. They ask for PIM. They heard about it. PIM will save money for you, will save time. Okay, will ensure the quality of the project. Okay, and they ask for PIM. However, they still think that the change happen only on software and process and within the construction company. Okay, and they don't need to be involved in this process. Okay, they have to understand that the changing, okay, happen there. They have to actually, okay, adopt it, and they have to understand that change, and they have to change their way of tracking the project. I had a lecture a few weeks ago, okay, and one of the audience asked me regarding, they said they are actually contractors, and they asked me about they give us like 2 weeks, okay, for bidding to understand the concept of the building, or they understand the building, okay, and they give us the drawings and the data, okay, but in traditional way, papers and CDs. And they told us you need just only 2 weeks, okay, to give us your bidding. I told them they have to understand that they need to give you more time, okay, if they're gonna actually use the traditional way, okay. If they're gonna do the traditional way, papers and CDs, okay, they need to give you more time. But if they actually design and do their project in BIM, okay, I think 1 week it's enough for you, okay, to give the biddings. You don't need 2 weeks. Okay, if they actually transfer the first stage, okay, to be digitalized. Yeah, this is an overall, okay. In the end, they have to understand it's a process, okay. It's a whole process. It's just not only technology replacing another technology. Yes, that's true, but it's not the big picture, okay.
Got it. Yeah, awesome. I think that is about integration. You spoke about BIM in detail, where you want to extract information. And yeah, like you said, if it's paper, it's probably a week's time. It's not just less than a week. Whereas if it's in a tool, it's a matter of extracting, downloading the data that you want to download and just share it to the customer. So I think that's a good call out. But yeah, before I go to the next one, any other inputs from the panelists we have? Abdulaziz, Syed, Mohammad, Shalan. Okay.
I think yes, Dr. Yasser covered it actually in one manner.
Awesome. Thank you again for doing that, Mohammad. I think with that, the last question on this segue is, I know we're talking about this transformation. So what is that one thing that you want your vendors to understand? Maybe answer that in mind too. I think that will be great. So when talking about implementing any digital transformation tool, anybody who would like to talk about it? Maybe
if you allow me, actually, yeah, if you allow me, actually, I think that the vendor is coming like our partner. It's no longer a vendor or a contractor with us. So what I need the vendors to understand is that it's the digital transformation is a journey based on trust, and no one size fits all. So what we need actually, the digital vendors to be our long life partners. They need to understand actually, they need to be, first of all, patient, so that they can also, part of their job will be to kind of educate the people. And they need to know that while we are managing digital transformation journey in our companies, we need also a kind of to set the mindset and expectation from the business people, so that everyone need to understand this, and we need to be patient with everyone. And it's no longer actually like when it was a hit and run business. It's no longer like this. It's now moving into either it's a win-win situation or a lose-lose situation, because there is no lose situation. Sometimes you vendors usually have to finish the deal quickly and go with this deal. But in digital transformation, there is a lot of points that you need to consider. So it's not anymore like this. This is one thing actually, and also the relation between all these kind of contractors. Sometimes you have to generate this value to the business and to align the whole ecosystem about everything related to this. And in this, actually, vendors need to understand that, okay, the client can change his mind. And because we are running in an agile, fast-moving environment, and sometimes when we are designing, for example, a smart city, when we start designing the smart city, by the end we finish or we acquire a technology, the world will be changing. So the vendor need to understand that, okay, it's inevitable, it's a partnership, and we can change our minds. The change orders is not something that we hate, as we usually do. Today, everyone is asking for change, is asking for agility. So this is what we are. We need our vendors to become our partners who have a long relationship with us, not only the technology people, but with the business people, because we are all in the same boat to get value to the organization. this is in a nutshell actually what we need the vendors to change their mindset. And maybe Abdulaziz can say, because he's part maybe of the consultation firm, so he can
what you said Mohammed, is you took the word from me. This is what I was thinking to say. I think vendors see now the infrastructure of technology and the smart city and IT. We have it right now in Saudi Arabia. We have a couple of cities right now in Jeddah, Riyadh. I think the Dammam right now also they have ITCC, Jeddah Technical Center. So I think we have this infrastructure, but a private sector or general sector vendors, they have to understand the way that the communication style is moving from side to side. They have to collect data. The data have to be displayed and be viewed to all contractors or clients. Doing analysis for the market. Every day the market has changed. If you go to Silicon Valley, to the companies, every day they have a new technology. The vendor must be back to this technology and to implement it in our market and the companies, so we can have good solutions and good result at the end. Thank you very much, guys.
Awesome. That is great to resonate the same factor from everybody else. I think Syed was gearing up to say something on this. Syed, did you like to add on the technology vendor?
By giving the opportunity to Mohammed first, he took everyone's points. So I would like to add some more points to him. As he rightly said, the vendor is no more a vendor, he's our partner. And whatever solutions we are going to build together in the digital transformation, one of the biggest bottleneck and roadblock is the awareness of the vendor in those systems which they are going to integrate. So this is one area where the vendor needs to be having the advanced skills and knowledge in understanding how this, for example, you take the ERP, CRM, the call center, there are many different products every company is using. When you are trying to make a digital transformation, you need to collaborate between these systems and integrate and give a complete 360-degree view to the end user. When this is to be achieved, unless the vendor has visibility, so it will be very difficult. And you cannot expect the vendor to be having this visibility in one day. So there is a collaboration between us and the vendor as a to work together, and we will have to bring them on board. This is one solution. For example, we have been talking about only applications. What I'm saying is today, the infrastructure of IT has grown so big in Saudi Arabia that there are no bottlenecks in terms of connectivity. There are no bottlenecks in terms of moving the data. For example, we have a project in Riyadh, which is about 500,000 square meters. It's a huge city coming up, which is called Shams Al Riyadh. And this site is under development, and you can say that you can expect a complete business area, residential, mixed use, all these are available. So this design activity is happening, execution activity is happening, and the project site has to move everything to another location. You have a huge volume of data to be transmitted every day. You have WAN optimized solutions, you have SD WANs, you have different solutions available. So when you are talking about digital transformation, we have the applications in one side and the vendor and us in the middle, and we have the infrastructure on the other side. So we need to see what infrastructure to rightly choose to ensure that the solution gets the best out of it. So this is a collaboration again. So we cannot force the vendor to know everything. We need to join with them to bring them on board. Thank you.
Awesome. So I think in a nutshell, it's not just one team that the vendor will have to understand. By the need, it can expect tomorrow you want to jump in, the integrated and the collaboration is enabled. I think that's what Agile is also talking about, like Mohammad Shalan spoke about, being Agile, going into a phased approach, implementing it to make sure everybody's happy and intact into a single solution. I think with that, I also quickly want to understand and quickly know about the audience today in terms of what are the current channels through which your employees. Now, we spoke about customers reaching out to you. Employees also similarly reach out to you in different channels. It could be WhatsApp, it could be email, it could be phone. What are the possible channels do you think employees reach out to you, or other the major channels? I'm going to give a quick minute to see if we have anybody else add points to this. And before that, just a quick check to see if we have any questions on the chat side.
Kashi, no questions as of now.
Awesome.
I think our panelists are being very clear in what they're saying.
We are very thankful for that. I think it's they're striking the ball at the right time.
True.
We are seeing great inputs on this. I think there are multiple channels when you talk about this. It's not just one channel. I think this is where duplicacy also is a problem. Somebody will call and tell you, and the same person will email you. The same person will walk up to you. I think it's all about patience, and then you end up having duplicate issues for the same, employee or from different employees. Okay. I think probably from here we'll also understand what's next for us, which is not just about channels. How can we support you when you speak about channels where employees reach out to you? I think collaboration also kicks in here, where you want to have one platform which can listen to all of this. Maybe a call center solution where employees can call you. On the other hand, you might have a WhatsApp chat channel through which you can receive queries. And imagine all of that falling into a single bucket. I think nothing like it, right? So I think that's what the essence we want to understand here. In the poll here, and from here, we'll quickly also dive into see. Oops, I lost control of the screen. Yeah, I think, Arvind, I think you are controlling the screen. Would you mind going to the next screen? Awesome, super. So from the poll, we understood what are the different areas where employees reach out to you or how they reach out to you. What's more important is after you get, your inputs from your employees, how do you go back and keep a track of it? And what are the key metrics? Now, when you speak about metrics, there are multiple areas, right? It could be a response time. It could be a resolution that you do for your customers and employees. So along those lines, maybe if I can listen this up in a quick one line, maybe from Mohammad, Shalan, or Abdulaziz, would you like to add anything on this?
Yes. What I think right now to keep tracking, I think we have to stick with our vision and what is the target, the target we have right now, creating a values, okay, recognize what the market needs, what is the client's need, what the vendors have to provide. So we have to, I think this is what we have to be tracking on right now in the 2021. I think IT or transformation, especially in Saudi Arabia during COVID-19, was a challenge, and it was a surprise for myself. I'm talking about myself. The government, when they switch between traditional to transformation, was an excellent example. I think all companies and vendors must go through the rules of the company, the government, and how did they implement it at that time. This is what I have to say for to keep tracking in 2021.
Yes, actually,
I think what Abdulaziz,
what Abdulaziz is really true what he has said, actually. And I think what we need to focus on maybe is the value generation, how we deconstruct the value out of our business so that we can generate the value. And at the same time, we have to set up a kind of governance framework, parameters that will align all things that we are usually and we are doing in harmony, so that because we are going agile, we are changing a lot of directions. So it's at the same time, we need to have a kind of governance, not to have things messy. So this is actually what we are trying to keep track on, how we are managing the value and the governance structures inside our organizations.
Awesome. So I think it's about values, it's about governance that you want to bring in place, it's about security, making sure that everything is accomplished by your governance rules and all of that. I think that's very, very essential. It's not just about supporting, but also making sure everything is intact within you. Awesome. Thank you for that, Mohammad Shalan. Syed, were you gearing to say something? I saw your quick move.
Yeah, actually, I would like to add one more point here. What we have missed here is we have talked about digital transformation, technology initiatives, and more important is the security. Because here, the security is very, very critical for the digital transformation, because we are exposing so many things, and this will lead to issues. So one of the key metric that needs to be there, part of the thing is the governance and compliance requirements, security violations, response time, resolution time, and how quickly you are able to close the case management. Because when you are talking about real estate sector, every day you will get a lot of cases from the customers, from internal, from the different departments. So case resolution, response time and resolution time is more important. And visibility of customer 360 is more important, so that you will be able to answer and handle any kind of chats. Like you had the chat history of the communication between the customer and the call center or chatbots. So all these integrations, we need to see how they are efficient. So the efficiency and productivity are critical parameters to be evaluated. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I think security plays a big role no matter where we go. I think to make sure that we are secure. Coming up in chat, I'll take that quickly in a minute. But before we go to that, I'll also quickly bring that poll up, which is the next one. Do you see multiple functions? I know we want to be in solution. That's why functions are looking to improve business process. And yeah, improving business process and digital transformation, like everybody else said, it's not a single day task, right? It's a building block. You do it phases, you do it in months, but we want to also understand where exactly we are positioning, or rather you are positioning a business process. So from now I see the major chunk saying legal as the additional function who wants to be on the improvisation side. But do we see any other channel, like, oh yeah, I slowly see people responding to a lot of other departments as well, which is great. Awesome.
Maybe to be realistic, actually, every department will have his inputs, because no one is today can work, and everyone needs a kind of education. Even the legal department, it's very important actually to move them aligned and to start in the contracting phase since the early beginning, since the design, and before design, even since the planning. So that is, it's really very important. I think everyone would be on board. No one can be left outside the board while we are doing a digital transformation.
Absolutely. So it's not just one department, it's literally everybody within a real estate world who would want to be, diagnose or rather improve their business process. You rightly pointed out. And slowly I'm seeing the results that everybody started dating every other department. It's not just one department anymore. So I think we are all aligned. I'm glad that we are going in that phase. Okay, I'm going to quickly pause this poll. And from here, we would like, Arvind, would you like to go to the next one and also see what that is? We are still seeing your poll number 3.
If you can close that, the poll number 4 is up.
Okay, awesome. So I think the next thing that we are going to see up on the poll is from the discussions we've had. I know we spoke about its transformation and what is the need. Also, like if you want to also have a personalized discussion. I know we had a panel discussion here, but maybe more of a personalized discussion. I saw a couple of questions on the chat speaking about it. Maybe along that, we'll have to connect with you. So, or it could be also sharing the information that we actually spoke today. We can share some industry context and then have that passed on to you. And while this poll is going on, probably I quickly want to take time. I know that we've extended the time, and I would like to thank once again everybody for staying longer. Just quickly want to address the questions we've had. I think there are 3 questions towards the end. One was about, do you think about maintenance costs or updates? Now, maybe from Freshworks standpoint, all of our solutions are cloud only. we are digitally only available. We are not on-premise, meaning there is no maintenance or updates or enhancements cost that you have to worry about. All of that is something that we take as burden, and we will do it in the back end without any cost to it. And then data migration from existing systems. I think it's important to pass on data so that you know how your current setup is as compared to your transition phase. So yes, we will do the data migration as well, and that doesn't come with any additional costs. It's going to be free onto your implementation. And lastly, there's someone abroad who spoke about is mobile friendly. I mean, Freshworks is mobile friendly or Freshworks mobile friendly. Yes, Syed did mention about being available on mobile is very, very essential, and also acceptance or other user interface is very, very important. So Freshworks or Freshworks solutions, all of our products, in fact, are available on the mobile app, be it Android or Apple or even your tablet. Yes, you can download the app and use it. I think with that, I just want to quickly ensure that we have covered all the questions. Do you see any other questions for us, Shifa, Arvind, that I missed out?
That would be it. I think you covered all the questions.
Awesome. Awesome. With that, Arvind, I would like to pass it on to you if you want to sum it up.
Thank you. Yeah. For us. In fact, it was a very, very engaging session. I found there's so many eye-openers just beyond, the common discussion points that I've seen in multiple sessions. This specific discussion brought in a lot of discussion points, and I'm very glad to have each of the panelists to share this key insights. Thank you all. Thank you, panelists. Thank you, Kasi. Thanks to the Freshworks team for putting this content together and helping us solve some critical solutions. Thank you so much. And I thank the participants. And if anybody is interested to know more in detail or need any kind of advice or want to speak with one of our speakers or take this discussion further or offline, we are happy to introduce you to them to take this discussion further as we all look at surviving and moving forward together as a community. And the idea of having sessions like this is to collaborate, support each other, and we look forward in hosting more sessions and more interactions with each of you. Until then, I'd like to thank all of you. Have a nice one and stay safe.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Have a very good day. Stay safe.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And nice to meet you, all of you.
Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you all.
Yes, it is. Okay, thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.